we need to talk about this book. Like many of you, I lined up at 5 a.m. yesterday to get my hands on this book and the TTPD vinyl. When I got home and started flipping through this book, I was actually blown away at the amount of grammatical mistakes I saw. I saw so many, in fact, that I am seriously questioning if this book was even edited. When I'm reading through things, if there's certain grammar mistakes or like sentence structures that are really distracting, it really takes me out of the reading experience. And I really felt that with this book. People are lovingly dubbing this right now the ErasTour book. If you're paying $40 for a book, wouldn't you expect it to not have this many errors? Wouldn't you expect pictures not to be cut off? Wouldn't you expect pictures to be crisp and clean and not blurry? I think this book is beautiful. Love the sparkle, love the front. And I also think the foreword is written beautifully, okay? This was edited, you can tell. You can also tell it's in Taylor's voice. You can also tell that all of these little sections are also in Taylor's voice, but I don't think these were edited. These read like first drafts to me. And the thing is, you can still edit and keep people's voice, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if they're on a deadline or what. The grammatical problems that I found should have been fixed like right away. So it's appalling to me that, again, that it was even left in the book, period. This was the first page where I really noticed the obvious lack of editing. This is something that literally would have taken 2 seconds to fix too. So she writes, every night before the beat kicks in on Delicate, the crowd screams 1, 2, 3, let's go, bitch. Another ErasTour crowd tradition I looked forward to every night. Why are we using every night in 2 sentences back to back? This doesn't sound good. It's lazy writing, and literally this could have been fixed if this was simply taken out. This is one of my favorite set pieces is the Folklore Cabin, designed by Ethan Taubman, who helped me create the cabin from the Cardigan music video and my Grammy performance of the song. We were able to transport those stadiums to the forest. I just don't like this. We were able to transport those stadiums to the forest. You could just say we were able to transport people to the forest. We were able to transport the crowd to the forest. That just seems weird. I also think her wording here, who helped me create the cabin from the Cardigan music video and my Grammy performance of the song, something is weird there grammatically, and it's really clunky, and it just doesn't sound right. She didn't need a comma here. From the folklore forest grows an entire city scene. I can see why she put it there. That's a stylistic choice, but she doesn't need it. We strut and shimmy and shake, comma, as the dancers destroy a car with light-up golf clubs. You don't need the comma there either. And I think any editor would have taken it out. This is the big error I've seen a lot of people mentioning. It's, this is me trying, but it says this is me rhying. I also just found one over here after just looking a little bit like Gold Rush is 2 words. This is another example of what I just think an editor would have fixed. So she says, and for Mastermind, we recreate a chessboard. And when I signal the dancers to move to different spots on the board, they actually create the exact sequence for a checkmate. This sentence starts with and then literally a couple words later, she says and. This could have been completely fixed by literally her just saying for Mastermind. Or she could have just said, and for Mastermind, we recreate a chessboard, period. When I signal the dancers to move to different spots on the board, they actually create the exact sequence for a checkmate. This would have been such an easy fix, so it makes me so mad, again, that it's just like that and clunky and weird. Why is the text cut off? And if this was a stylistic decision, why? And this page is also a great example of putting the focal point in the middle of the book. Like, most people are not gonna flatten out these expensive books and break the spine just so they can see this part of the photo. This too. Another example. Another. Like, what the hell? I shouldn't have to do that. Why are we cutting her off? She's the main focus of the fucking book. Guys, Taylor's a Lost fan, confirmed. This looks like an iPhone picture to me. It literally looks like an iPhone picture. So this one may be blurry just because of the smoke, but I mean, it's quite blurry and grainy. And also a really good example of them cutting the spine weird. Again, like, looks super pixelated compared to this one. It's just really bad quality. Me finding the mistakes in this $40 book. This is a really good example of design I actually really like. Like, I think this is, again, done really well. And the text looks really cool, too. I think the coolest section in the book by far is the behind-the-scenes section. These pictures are amazing. These are pictures we haven't seen, and this is what I thought we were going to get more of in this book. This page also eats. I was also over here on Tampa Night 1. Slay. Is this the worst book ever written? No. And as you saw, there are some highlights as well. I guess I expect more love and care to be taken into account when writing, designing, and editing, because I feel like this book was almost rushed, and I think it was really obvious that it was rushed. I think it should have been more behind the scenes content. I think she should have written more. The fact that she only wrote maybe like a paragraph for each era and that there's so many errors within the eras is a little crazy to me, because it would have only taken someone maybe 30 minutes to look through and fix those writing errors. I also know some people are probably going to watch this and be like, that's fine, that's just grammar, blah, 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 blah. Some people write like that, yeah, but I mean, some of it is just like very obvious grammar mistakes that sound really clunky when you read it. And you don't want stuff to sound clunky. You don't want to be reading something and as you're reading have to stop and like think about why something is worded that way. Like, that's just bad writing. That's not writing style, that's bad writing. And we know Taylor's a good writer, so I don't know what happened. If you were simply a collector like me, like, this is a gorgeous book. However, like, you can still be disappointed in it. You can still wish it was better. And I wish it was better. I'm happy to have it in my collection, but there's a lot of problems with it. I'm lucky to have money that I can go and buy this with, but I know some people probably saved up money to buy this, and now they have this. Something that was a rush job, something that reads like a cash grab, and something that could have been a lot better.
So first of all, I want to say that she did make a few reasonable points. One of the points she made was the fact that there are some pages in which, like, Taylor was almost like you had to bend the book before you could see Taylor, or she was like in a tight corner, and it happened like a few times. And that is valid. I mean, Taylor is the moment. She's who we're here to see. So why are you putting her in a tight corner or like in the side where we have to bend the book to see her? I mean, she's supposed to be at the middle, like at the center of it all, right? That is one point she made that really sits well with me. But most of our other points were too vague. They were too clickbaity. Like, you're saying, oh, lots of grammatical errors and lots of rah, rah, rah. But really what you're saying is in your own professional standpoint, because I went to her TikTok and she was talking about, she's a writer or something like that, right? So she's really speaking at a professional standpoint, like basically something that I would write and look at it as something that would be okay for the fans. A professional would see it and have like a few things that they might change if they were in that position to, edit my work or, something like that. So everything she was saying, it's still quirky. It's still, it is almost like you were trying to find more faults from the book than there is, right? Let's just say there are like 2 faults, but you're trying to make it 10. You're trying to exaggerate everything. And at that point, I'm like, girl, I'm over this. Like, I really appreciate your own review. And I appreciate the fact that you are like bringing everything to Taylor's notice, and also your own and also in your POV you feel like this book was rushed, and I could respect that. But what I wouldn't respect is you trying to add more fuel to the fire, saying, this could have just been out of here, that is not an error. If something is understandable to the reader and words were repeated, that is not an error, okay? Because you're literally trying to call everything an error. So I genuinely feel like she was reaching a little bit. She was reaching a lot, okay? She made some valid points, but it was too much of a reach. And y'all are buying it. Y'all are eating it up on TikTok and on Twitter and coming to my comments saying, oh, Taylor's book was rushed and da-da-da-da-da. I saw a lot of that comment on my previous video, on the video I made about Beyonce copying Taylor. A lot of Beyonce's fans came to the comments because of this video talking about, oh, Taylor's book was rushed and that. No, okay? Y'all can't just sit here. And then she said something about, there were so many errors, but that is just your own opinion. Don't mistake your opinion and your own professional advice to someone making lots of errors, someone putting out errors in their book, trying to spoil the book, trying to twist everything, trying to clickbait, and you're out here acting all innocent. It's crazy to me. Like, y'all just want to ruin someone's hard work and call it, oh, it's just my opinion. Well, your opinion is is, yeah, your opinion is something you can give anytime, but the fact that you're now trying to make it worse and trying to just get people talking and get people hating on the book is something else, and that is what I feel. So, well, y'all can tell me what you think about it, but honestly, I feel like it's a reach and it's now trending, and that just makes me feel like she's ruining the work that Taylor and the team put in already. So, yeah.